Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of financial management. So today's is the seventh lecture based on the financial management. So in this lecture series we are moving slowly forward. We are seeing a different new concepts in each and every lecture so that slowly we can understand what is the finance and what are the different parameters which leads to a financial management. What are the different sectors are there which deals with the financial management, and we have seen how the financial manager it get benefited by a different organizations to have a growth of their business. So in today's lecture we are going to see what are the different disciplines of a finance. So before that, a little bit we will see about the financial management. So if you see the finance, it has a two important components. So one is called as the money, which we all use for our daily purpose, isn't it? For the daily needs and for any individual and for any human being. So if he uses any finance for his consumption purpose, for buying the goods and the services for himself or his family or for his other near or dear one, so we call it as a money only, isn't it? Because the benefit of that finance, if you are able to enjoy only for once only for the say at one point of a time, that money was with me, so I purchased the good and services from the market, I consume that money is gone, benefited, I enjoyed, isn't it? And that part is over. But the funds which we use in the business, which we invest in the business, which we use in the business, they are generally called as a capital. So name of that finance is capital. So we we are learning about that what is that. So it is the beginning of a business, how to invest that capital into a business, and how to say appreciate that capital, how to maximize that capital and financial resources, and how to grow with any startup or any say a small level of organization. Maybe you call it as a sole proprietorship, right? So for example, if I take one example, what I have written here is what is a financial management, isn't it? So here is a finance may be defined as a what defined as a art, or you can say it is a science of managing the money. Is the art and science of managing the money. For example, if I have 100 rupees with me, and if I go to the market and purchase some goods and services, so that 100 rupees is gone. Okay, so there can be another guy or another person that he can buy that say some goods for 100 rupees, he can sell those goods for 150 rupees in the market to other person or to other customer, so where they are not easily available, so he can make it say 50 rupees with the help of that 100 rupees. So his 100 rupees now becomes a 150 rupees. So this is a called as the art and science of managing the money. So when we are managing it only for one purpose, one single use of the money, it is called as a money. But when it says the use for multiplication of investment in the business for the proper use of a business, then it is called as a capital. And second part, which we are calling as a capital, the investing any amount of money into a business and maximizing those financial resources, we are going to talk about this, isn't it? So difference between the money and capital is the finance. Capital is finance is same. The 100 rupees is same, but the money is that once you go to the market, you consume that only for once. That is called as the money. But if you invest the same 100 rupees into any kind of a business, and then you grow up with some other funds, you make it 150, 200, 300 rupees, it becomes a capital. So it uh, doesn't remain as a money. So we will have to make our minimum resources, maximum resources, and That is how we can do. It has been only possible with the help of learning the concepts of a financial management. Second important point here is the financial management is concerned with the duties of financial manager in a business firm. The duties of a financial management managers in the firm. So what does the financial manager do? So that is a very important task that one individual have to understand. So you could mean agree with me that every firm has a different department, or the organization may be a small, big, or medium sized organization. It is divided into different departments, and every department is doing a different kind of a functions. So they are performing a different kinds of a jobs, different kinds of a functions. So we have, for example, a purchase department. So they purchase a raw material, a different kinds of a raw material. What is their job is to seek the requirement from the production department and purchase the best quality of a material at at a very competitive prices. So that is the only function of a purchase department. So they place the orders, they receive the material, they take the material to the different warehouses, and finally the material is available with us all the times. So then the other department is a production department. So what is the job of a production department? The production department is converting that raw material into a finished product and then passing it onto a warehouses, and partially even from the plant some material goes to the market also. So we have the production department. Now once the production is over, after that we have a marketing department. So marketing department, it has a two broad functions. So they have, we would say, a advertising function also, and they have the sales and distribution function also. So they are largely the major chunks of operations is involved in the sales and distribution of the product. But at the same time, they keep on advertising the product, having the feel of market, knowing about the customer requirement, and giving the feedback back to the firm or the production department. So what? So that the product and the services, it can be modified as per the requirement of a customer in the market. So that is the job of the marketing department. Okay, so by taking the feedback of the customer, the production or the marketing department, they can make a changes into a product, or they can convey that message to a owner of that company so that they modify the product, uh, so that it becomes a much more better for customer use. Then after that we have after a sales service department. So means once we sell the product in the market, it requires after sales service. So we have after a sales service department, is the firm whose job is to keep the people or other customer satisfied. So in between there is one department, so which is called as a finance department, accounting, and financial department. So there are other department also, for example a human resource department, HR department. They deal with the total human resources and taking care of all the human resources, hiring of the people, properly managing other resources with the firm, and taking care of all their financial and physical requirement. So there is a department, there is a HR department also. So apart from all this department, you purchase your purchase department, production department, your marketing department, a human resource department, sales and distribution department. After sales service department, we have a very important department which we call as a finance department, which is CFO. Means firm is the head of that department. So it's called as a CFO. It stands for a Chief Financial Officer. Who is the firm CFO of the firm? So is one who heads their finance and accounting department. And the job of the finance department is always arranging the funds to be invested in the business and fulfilling the financial requirement of particular department, of different department. So because because purchase people can't purchase the material until and unless you give them sufficient amount of funds. So production people cannot produce if you provide them different inputs and different inputs come from the market and they need funds. So marketing people cannot go for marketing functions until and unless they are supported by a financial say requirement or by a finance department. Similarly, your HR department needs funds. So you after sales service department need funds. Everybody needs funds. So it means when people need funds, it means if you have finance required amount of finance in the business, other thing can be arranged. But you do not have the requirement amount of funds or finance, other thing can't be arranged. So this is one part. The second part is having the fund is one thing, but properly managing the fund is another important thing. So that is why we remain very careful and we need very good and expert people who knows what is the finance. So what is the importance of finance in business and how to properly manage the finance. So that is a very important thing, right? So here we are talking about the financial management is concerned with the duties of financial managers in the business firm. So that what the financial manager do for whole day in the firm, that all is called as a financial management. Then important part is financial manager actively manage the financial affairs of any type of a business, namely a financial and non-financial, private and public, large and small, profit seeking or non-profit, any kind of a business. You talk about whether we are a profit making organization. So whether we are not for a profit making organization, whether we are a small firm, we are a large firm, we are a manufacturing firm, we are a service rendering organization, everywhere you need the funds. So anywhere you unless and until you don't have a funds, you cannot grow. So everywhere you need a finance, and proper management of the finance is most important thing. So if you are not managing your finance properly, even maybe a firm having the ample amount of the resources may become insolvent, or if you are managing your finance properly, then even a firm starting the business from very small micro level can become a transnational companies. So it all depends upon how we all manage our funds and how well we perform the financial management functions and how actively professionally managed our financial department is. So we have to give a more importance to the finance, because if the finance are properly managed, nicely managed, then other department can automatically be uh, uh, they can automatically be. But if the funds are not managed, then certainly other things cannot happen. So it means the finance equally important to all kinds of organization, even for the profit making organization, even for the firms who are not for profit. Okay, so it means you can understand now the slowly and steadily the importance of a finance. Now in this part we are going to talk about the financial decision areas. Now if you see the slide, a very important slide of a financial decision, yes, financial management disciplines. So we are going to talk about the financial decision areas. So I have laid down here six important points, and the six important financial decision areas, and these all will be talking about till say the end of the discussion. We will see, isn't it? And apart from these six major financial decision area, we have some other supportive areas also, which you call it as a say support, department support area, and you call it as a support also the primary areas and some other related disciplines which support the finance function in any firm or the financial management in any firm or in any kind of the firm, right? So when you talk about the financial decision areas, we have the six financial important decision areas. The one is the investment analysis. Second is working capital management. Third one is source and the cost of the funds. Fourth one is determination of capital structure, and then is the dividend policies, and then is the analysis of risk and returns, because ultimate purpose of any business is having the maximum returns at the optimum level of a risk. So uh, I may not say the minimum level of a risk. You cannot do that, because there is a direct relation between the risk and return. So there is a direct relation between the risk and return. So higher the return risk will also be higher, and lesser the return risk can also be a lower. So this is quite possible. But our job as a good financial manager is that we have to maximize the return of the firm, because ultimate purpose of any business is the value maximization and the wealth maximization of the shareholders. So people who provide the finance after performing your purchase function, production function, marketing function, distribution function, after sales service function, HR function, you have to run the business in such a manner that ultimately the return on the shareholder investment is maximized, and that all is going to happen. So if we are managing your finance properly, if we are providing the required amount of funds to a different department at the required amount of a time, then only you are going to think about the best results will be available. So if we are not able to do it, means at the right amount of a time, it may be possible that the CFO is only able to look forward into a future, and what is happening in that case. Sometimes we are running short of funds, sometimes we have the ample amount of funds, even we are running the short of funds under under the uncapitalized uncapitalized, we will not be able to fulfill the requirement of all the department on the time. So there are the obstructions in the business. If you have the more than required amount of a funds, that is also not good for the business. So what we have to learn here is we have to have the optimum amount of a funds, so that business optimally capitalized, we are optimally fulfilling the requirement of all of our department, and we are optimally managing our financial resources by taking the optimum amount of risk and maximizing the return on whatever the investment we are making in the market. So this all will depend upon if your overall financial management functions are properly performed in organization. So now we will talk about six decision areas, the financial areas. The first thing is investment analysis. So spend more time, maximize time on the investment analysis. Spend maximum time on investment analysis, because if the analysis is better, we understand that when we are going to take any investment, the decision in the business, if we have properly analyzed it from the different angles, then certainly the end results is going to be a better. But sometimes any decision which is taken in the haste, that is going to mess up with things, okay. So going to create a problems for the manager, for stakeholders of the business. And it may be possible that overall idea of making the investment in the business may not mean come out with the desired results. So it may be possible that investment may prove to be a bad investment, and we are not able to generate a sufficient returns out of it. And sometimes it becomes a loss making business, and losses are so high that you are not able to convert that business into profit within the given amount of a time. And finally, we take a decision that the business has to be closed down, right? So it means investment analysis is the most important thing, and for the investment analysis, But we do first of all we have an idea in our mind. That idea, when we think of converting that into a business, the first question comes up, that the product which I will say generate, or the service which I will generate out of this entire business, means putting all these factors of product into a job and then say converting that into idea into a business, and that business will start producing the product or generating the services. Who will buy that product or service from organization? So is there sufficient market available? So proper market analysis is required to be done, so that your product should get a good market for selling. So market and demand analysis is the backbone of a success or the failure of any business. If you have the market, if you think that you will be able to have the market sufficient market in the initial year of your business, then there is no issue at all, there is no problem at all. But if the market is not there, or the market analysis has to not been properly done, in that case what happens? So that we manufacture the product, and when we go with that product in the market, we do not find the buyers in the market. So there will be no any customer for that product. So we do not find sufficient buyer in the market, and if the buyer are not there in the market, then sufficiently means the sufficient buyers are not there in the market for whom you are manufacturing the product, then you generate a service, and no mean buyer of that or subscriber to that service is available in the market. Then from whom you are going to mean that have that service? So it means what you have to do is you have to have the ample amount of market for your product, and then you have to see beforehand that you have to see that when you are starting the manufacturing the product, you have to think about that there is a sufficient market for that. So every investment analysis starts with the market and demand analysis, right? So similarly, then the other analysis is there apart from the market and the demand analysis. Then you go for technical analysis, right? That okay, market is there, demand is there, because my product is new, my concept is new, my idea is good, right? So and it is acceptable to the people. We can conduct a survey, we can get good results, but apart from that, you have to go for second set of analysis, which is a technical analysis. So what kind of input are required, what kind of technology required, what kind of machines are required, what kind of other things are required, you have to say for the technical analysis in details, and then you have to go for the financial analysis. So financial analysis means that from where the funds will come, how much funds are required to be invested, what is going to be a cost of a funds, and if I make this requirement the required amount of investment, then at what price I will be able to sell my product. So what will be the profitability state in the first year? How much loss will be there? Second year, third year, and you have to create the dummy financial statement, projected financial statement for next 10 years. So financial analysis is very very important. So profitability analysis also very important. Risk analysis also very very important. So all this analysis means a proper investment analysis. If it is done before starting any business or giving any shape to a business, then certainly the end result is going to be a best and beautiful. But if we are not means doing sufficient homework, and if the properly investment analysis is not done, then certainly the end result is not going to be. So one is desirable, or one which is desirable or which is going to be supportive for the business. So similarly, apart from this investment analysis, we will talk about the another important decision area also, and then slowly we will move forward in the further discussion. So till then we will stop here, and in next lecture we will see next point of a financial management. Till then, thank you.